Hello everyone. Welcome to SMS91, a CPaaS platform that provides solutions to all business communication needs, may it be SMS, WhatsApp, email, RCS, or contact center. This is Chinmay Daga, Chief Operating Officer at MSG91. Today, we are taking a sincere attempt to guide you through the implementation of new TRAI CTA whitelisting and ensure that none of your SMS communication encounter issues when this new TRAI regulation take effect from tomorrow, that is 1st of October. Now, let's understand what is CTA. So CTA or call to action are basically the action points in an SMS content that a business sends to its receiver. These are like URLs, callback numbers, and email IDs. Now, there has been sincere efforts from TRAI since last few years once they have launched DLT to curtail spam. Now, further to that efforts, they have came up with an idea of CTA whitelisting. So, the major purpose of CTA whitelisting is to curtail spam that is happening through SMS via fraud links, callback numbers that are taking the receivers to the spammers that affects them mentally and monetarily. Now, what exactly TRAI want the businesses to do? So TRAI says whatever CTA you are using in your SMS content, whether in the static part of your DLT template or in the variable part, that has to be whitelisted before sending it to the receiver. So you have to go to your DLT platform, whitelist all your CTAs before sending it to your receiver. What will happen once you whitelist it? What is the purpose behind whitelisting? So basically, when let's assume your template has been hacked and getting misused by a spammer. Now, since that contains your whitelisted URL, that spammer will not be able to append his URL into your SMS content and try to defraud the public at large. Henceforth, the CTA will help in curtailing the spammings. Now, let's first jump on to the URL part. So there are multiple type of URLs that needs to be whitelisted. So let's first talk about the static URLs. So I'll show you with an example of static URLs. Just hold on for a second. I'll just open the static URL page. So static URLs are basically the URLs that do not redirect to any other URL. That means that is static and that URL will not change and will be passed as it is on your SMS content. Now, I'll take an example of a static URL. So let's take an example of our own URL, that is message91.com. So this is a static URL. So what you have to do is you have to go to your DLT platform, copy this URL, and then you have to paste this URL in the static part of your DLT. I'll show you an example for that as well. So you have to go to your DLT platform, then you have to go to CTA whitelisting section. Then you have to select a single ETA, and then you have to choose a name, then you have to choose the URL, and then you have to choose which type of a URL you want to whitelist. So you have to select static URL. Now here you will paste the URL, or you will the URL that you want to whitelist. You just paste that URL and then you can submit it. Once you submit this URL, Once you submit this URL, it will be whitelisted. So then you have to go to CTA whitelist section. You will find the whitelisted URL here. Like this is the short URL, and there are some static URLs as well. Now, the another part, important thing is there should not be a question mark in a static URL. Now, let's jump on to the dynamic URL. Dynamic URLs, the mandatory parameter for a dynamic URL is a question mark. So let's take an example of this URL. This URL contains a question mark. So what you have to whitelist is you have to whitelist the part of your URL till the question mark. So this is the complete URL. So what we have to whitelist is we have to take this and then we have to whitelist it. Yeah. So we copy this and then we go here, we go to single CTA section again, give it any name, select the URL, select the URL type as dynamic and this. The dynamic URL must end with a question mark. This is a mandatory process. Else your URL will not be uploaded on CTA platform. Now you just submit it and submit it. Since it is already registered in our account, it is showing an error that CTA already registered. Okay. Now you can use any. And then you can submit it. It will be submitted successfully, and then you can see it in the CTA whitelisting section. Like here it is. Okay. Now, the few things that is important for a dynamic URL is when you apply for a dynamic or a static URL, then when it will be approved by a DLT platform, they will check that it should not be redirected. That means by a simple example of a static URL, if you are applying this URL as a static URL and it is redirecting to, let's say, airtel.com, it will not be allowed. Okay. Some DLT platforms are automatically approving by checking automatically if they are redirecting or not. Some DLT platforms are manually approving the CTA, and they will definitely reject this URL. Similar to the dynamic URL, it can it should not be redirected to any other domain. Okay, so let's say this is your dynamic URL, and when you put this URL along this complete URL, this might end up to any page, but the domain should remain the same. That means the whitelisting domain, your whitelisting domain is message91.com, and the URL on which it is the page that is opening that also contains message91.com as the domain. So that is allowed. But if domain is changing on redirection, that is strictly not allowed under CTA whitelisting. Now, if you have any APK URL, that URL should end with .apk, and you have to apply that in this section. Okay. Now, I'll just explain you this in practical. So you have applied this. So the domain that you have applied is message91.com, and the domain on which the website link on which it is redirecting is again message91.com sign up and then another page. So since the domain remains the same, this will be allowed. If the domain changes, the static and dynamic URL will not be whitelisted. Now, the most important part of CTA whitelisting that everyone is facing challenge with, that is short URL. So many of your redirection URL, you are not finding solutions to a redirection URL that what we can do. We have a redirection URL that might not have a question mark there. And even if it has a question mark, do we have to change all our SMS content and do we have to do some development of short URL at our end? So some basic rules of short URL are the short URL must contain the header. That means your sender ID. So what basically I'll give you a demo of a short URL. So when you go to your DLT platform, you have to go to this short URL section. There you have to name it. Then you have to select the protocol. So whenever you want to apply a short URL, it has to have a protocol. So let's say HTTPS. Then you have to put a domain name to it. Then here is your domain. Then you have to select your sender ID. So let's say I select the sender ID as send OTP. Okay. This is a mandatory parameter for short URL, a protocol, a domain, and a header. And then you have to submit it. Okay, this is already there. Then you can check this in the CTA section. You will find the URL like this. Now, when you apply a short URL on a DLT platform, it doesn't matter that URL is redirecting to which URL. Irrespective of that, you can shorten your URL. Okay. Now, I'll show you. Let's say, okay, okay, okay. So what you have to do is whichever header sender ID you are using, that you have to whitelist along with your short URL. Now, if you have your own short URL or your current short URL provider has provided you a solution of giving a short URL along with the header, you can use that. You can whitelist that on your DLT platform. If you're still struggling to find a solution to a short URL along with the header, then we have a solution to it. What you have to do is you can use our short URL domain, and our short URL domain is m.9m. Our short URL domain is m.9m.io. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to use m.9m.io and upload that on your DL2 platform along with your header. So let's assume your header is Indian Oil, INDOIL. So what you have to do is you have to go to your DLT platform, you go to short URL, you have to select the protocol as HTTPS. Irrespective of your URL, maybe HTTP or HTTPS, you have to always select HTTPS if you want to use our domain. Okay. Now, what you have to do is you have to do m.9m.io because this is our short URL domain. And then you have to select your sender ID. So select all your sender IDs one by one and then get it approved on your DLT platform and then submit it. Okay, this is how. This will be approved like this. So take all your headers, get it approved along with m.9m.io. Now, after this, what you have to do is you have to you can use our short URL domain in two ways. One, you can log into Message91 platform. I'll show you that as well. Just hold on for a second. Yeah. So you can log into Message91 platform, then you can go to short URL section. In the short URL section, you can go to settings, and in the settings, you will get this option of short URL service. Once you enable this service, every URL that is there in your SMS content will be shortlisted to m.9m.io. So you need to ensure that you want to shorten every URL in your SMS content or not. If there are some limitation that few URLs you don't want to shorten, few URLs you want to shorten, then you can use a parameter in the API with the name of short URL. There you can pass a flag. Once you pass a flag, so based on that request in which you pass a flag of short URL, only that request we will shorten the URLs of that request and not of the others. So dynamically you can manage which request, URLs of which request you want to shorten and URLs of which request you don't want to shorten. Now, after the short URL, this is you can do. Now for okay. Just hold on for a second. Okay. Now, whenever we get a dynamic URL on the SMS coordinate, let's assume you have enabled our short URL functionality. Whenever we get a URL in the SMS content, we will shorten it to in this way. Let's say your domain is Indian Oil, then we'll shorten it to m.9m.io/ind oil, and then we will put a dynamic code in that. That will help you to get the analysis of each of your receiver, that which receiver has clicked that URL or not. This will help you to get a better ROI on your SMS campaigns, on your transactional SMS. You will get a better analytics that which users are clicking on your links, through which you can do remarketing, you can do further actions, you can take further actions on that. Now, since we have provided your solution, we have explained you how to whitelist a CTA. Let's jump on to some of the FAQs, the common FAQs that comes that might coming in your mind regarding the CTA whitelisting. So let me just show you the page of FAQs. So the first one is the basic one, and this is only used for the DLT based SMS in India and not for other countries or the LDO traffic that is coming on Indian numbers. Now, the first important question is, do we need to whitelist the CTAs on multiple DLT portals? Yes. Okay. So the answer to this is no. You don't need to whitelist it on multiple portals. You just have to whitelist it on one portal. That is any one DLT platform. It doesn't matters on which DLT platform your templates are. It doesn't matters on which DLT platforms your headers are whitelisted on the first attempt or when you first initiated that whitelisting. You can log into any DLT platform of your choice and you can whitelist the CTA. Once that CTA is whitelisted on that particular DLT platform, there is a blockchain mechanism and other DLT platforms will be synced with those CTAs and your SMS traffic will not be affected. Are the CTA of static part of an SMS template that you have already applied on DLT or you might apply in future, are the URLs and callback numbers of those static part also needs to be whitelisted? Yes, you have to whitelist each and every URL and callback numbers, whether they are in the static part of your SMS template or they are in dynamic part of your SMS template. The next question is, what are the consequences of not applying to the whitelisting? So, as per TRAI guidelines, from today 12 midnight, the telecom operators will enable this functionality and any message containing non-whitelisted CTA will be rejected by telcos. There might be a possibility that few telecom operators started right away at 12 midnight, some will start in the morning, but you have to ensure that you whitelist all your CTAs before 12 midnight today. Now, are the redirection URLs allowed? So the URL redirection URLs on any other domain are only allowed via short URL mechanism and not via static and dynamic URL. Those URLs that are whitelisted in static or dynamic cannot be redirected to any other domain. Only the URLs that are whitelisted as a short URL can be redirected. Now, which header type allowed in the short URL? So whenever you apply your short URL, you will only get an option, like I'll just give you a demo. Uh, when I try to apply a new CTA in the short URL section, when I go to a help doc and I select this, I'll put a demo here. And when I select my headers, I'll only get alpha and alphanumeric sender IDs. The numeric sender IDs that are approved in promotional category, those are not allowed to be whitelisted as in short URL. Now let's jump back to the okay. So now, so only alpha and non alphanumeric. So is header part of the short URL case sensitive. So to be very honest, there is a confusion on this, and hence what we recommend that you should ensure that it is case sensitive, because some of the telecom operators might reject because there is no clarity in the SMS industry on the DLT platform that these should be case sensitive or not. So kindly ensure that these are case sensitives. Now, the dynamic URL should, as we mentioned before, the dynamic URL should end with a question mark. There is another question: do subdomain URLs need to be uploaded separately? Yes, the subdomain, it's better to upload the subdomain URLs separately, because there might be a possibility that few DLT platforms might reject those. So to ensure that no SMS getting affected from tomorrow, do whitelist your subdomains separately. Now there is a multiple query on this, that are IP based URLs allowed to be uploaded or not. So as per the TRAI guidelines, IP-based URLs are not allowed, and only domain-based URLs are allowed to be whitelisted. Here are few more guidelines on the URLs. You can check our FAQs here. We have already shared those FAQs with you. You can also check it on our help document. This is our help page where you can find multiple documents related to CTA whitelisting. Okay, so just allow me a second. Okay, so we have taken all the major queries that are related to CTA whitelisting. We have explained you how to execute the CTA whitelisting on DLT platform, how it will work on Message91 platform. We have taken all those points. We have and hope you got to know that how you have to implement the CTA on the DLT platform and how they will work on your SMS content. So what you have to ensure on your SMS content part is you have to pass on the exact uh, URL that you have whitelisted on your DLT platform. That means there will be an apple to apple match. Means if you have whitelisted this URL on your DLT platform, that let's take an example of, again take an example of Indian Oil. If you have whitelisted https://m.9m.io/indoil, and let's assume instead of this you are passing a different header. Okay, you are passing, instead of Indian Oil you are passing, let's say, India. Okay, this will not be allowed, because they will match letter by letter and they will find a different letter which is not whitelisted, and your SMS will be rejected. Telecom operators has given separate error codes that we have already mapped in our system. So from tomorrow, if any of your SMS getting failed because of any error related to this, you will get on our portal, you will check it in the log, you can check it in the logs, and you will find that why the SMS got failed. And you will find the reason of CTA whitelisting that you can correct, and then you can again resume your SMS communication. Now, this short URL is basically dynamic one. So anything after your sender ID, you can write. So in our case, we will put some dynamic quotes. If you are using your own short URL, you can use anything after the sender ID. So let's say you have whitelisted Indian Oil, then after this URL, you can append a code to it that helps you to redirect it to any other URL, and based on your receiver or based on your requirement of redirection, you can redirect it to any page. Now, I guess we have covered all the important points. There is one important point that also needs to be covered, and that might affect is that everyone is thinking about the URL in the dynamic part of your SMS template. So if you are using our short domain m.9m.io or any other short domain, you if okay, so if you are using our services and you are enabling the short URL at MSG91, then you have to ensure that the URLs that is already whitelisted on the static part of your already whitelisted DLT templates, those URL will also be shortened to m.9m.io and your SMS will fail. So in that case, you either use our short URL flag in your API that will help you to just shorten the URL into 9m.io based on your SMS template. Based on the request, you can manage it, or you have to whitelist new templates with m.9m.io in the static part as well. So that uh, you need to take care of. Okay, now we are just starting the Q&A section, and you can raise your hands, whoever wants to ask a question. Okay. So hope we have added some value and we have helped you to understand the CTA in detail, and probably will help you further. Our support team will be there. You can contact support@msg91.com. You can contact your account managers. Uh, if required, we will take more webinars on this. If required, we'll take a webinar tomorrow as well once it is live, and there will be multiple queries, probably the common queries from everyone. We might go ahead and take another webinar where we can address all the queries together and you can get a faster resolutions. Now we are jumping on to the Q&A section. Hi Ankit, you can go ahead with your query. Mr. Ankit Bhuvad. Mr. Ashay Kohad, you can also go ahead with your queries.
Hello,
Yes, Ashay.
I'm audible.
Yes, go ahead.
So basically, we provide SaaS product to unorganized workshops, two-wheeler workshops, four-wheeler workshops.
Okay.
Okay, and our application is will send the message to their customer. Let's say job card is created or job card is completed.
Okay.
We send the service reminder message to their customer. So basically, the our existing template is, dear customer, new job card is created for your vehicle details and
Okay.
estimated amount. Thanks. Workshop name, workshop mobile number, and our brand name. So how can we whitelist their mobile number to the system? So it's not possible for them to uh, onboard on any DLT platform, as they are a two-wheeler workshop or a four-wheeler workshop, a small workshops, are not a big brand.
How they can go another DLT platform?
What?
You're not heard in last 15 seconds.
Okay, so it's not possible for them to onboard on any DLT platform and approve their template, each and every template, and apply for the whitelisting for every garages. Right now, we have 25,000 plus workshops onboarded on our platform, and you are using our application. And we are using a common template saying, dear customer, new job card is created for your vehicle, estimated
In that
amount.
case, the URLs are also common. Na? The domain of those URLs are also common, right?
So I'm talking about the mobile number. We are not using any URL in this case.
Okay. So for mobile numbers, you have to whitelist those mobile numbers. There is no other option. If the mobile numbers are getting passed in the SMS content, those mobile numbers need to be whitelisted before sending it to the receiver.
But how can it will be possible to whitelist 25,000 plus customers mobile number?
Hey, are you passing those mobile numbers in the SMS content?
Yes. So basically, I am my application is sending SMS to their customer on behalf of the workshop.
Right. How many workshops were registered?
25,000 plus.
There is a bulk city option. I'll show you that. Okay, just a second. Okay. So there is an option. I've explained you the CTA. My bad that I have not explained you the bulk CTA. So there is an option on every DLT platform of bulk CTA. So what you
Okay.
can do is you can download the sample file from here. You can add all 25,000 numbers in one go, and then you can add it on the DLT platform. So whenever you get a new registration of a workshop, you can just upload that particular number on the CTA whitelist.
Okay. So it's from Ping Connect, correct?
Like from everywhere on every DLT platform, you will get an option of bulk CTA.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, Mr. Abhilash Kulkarni and Mr. Dibopam De, you can go ahead with your queries.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
Mr. Abhilash.
yeah, so only doubt is in the OTP verification template which we use in the product. So there it doesn't contain any URL or callback number. It only contains an email address, which is just to tell the user if it's not triggered by you, please contact. So
Okay.
I just want to confirm whether we should whitelist email address also, because in
Okay.
the FAQ section it clearly mentions CTA is nothing but in the bracket it is mentioned URL and callback numbers.
Okay. So currently, there
There
is no
is
mandate from 1st of October for the CTA whitelisting. Okay.
okay.
Email IDs in the CTA whitelisting. So
Okay.
email ID will also come.
But
Definitely
right
not
now,
from
from
tomorrow.
October, it is not necessary for email address in the OTP.
From tomorrow. No,
Okay.
it's not about OTP. First of all, there is no separate category of an
Category. Okay.
SMS.
Fine. Fine. Yeah.
CT whitelisting is applicable on all kind of SMS, may it be OTPs, may it be pure transactional, promotional,
Okay.
any SMS, it
Okay.
is applicable.
Okay.
Now, email, some DLT platforms has given an option of email whitelisting, some has not, and
Okay.
hence from tomorrow, email whitelisting is not applicable, but
Okay.
maybe in few days it will also be applicable.
Okay.
So if your DLT platform is giving an option, we would recommend to upload the emails as well,
Okay.
because any which ways it will going to come in few weeks.
Okay. So selection of DLT portal. So it depends on what. Like there are few DLT platforms like Airtel VI. It is listed on
On
the.
which you have already there, okay, on
Okay. Okay.
whichever DLT, whenever it will be applicable now, before that it will come on all DLT platforms. So rest
Okay.
assured on that.
Fine.
So whichever DLT platform you're using, you just log
Yeah.
into that and whitelist your CTAs.
Okay, so right now in my case, the query was whether to whitelist the email address. So right now, as you said, it is not applicable from tomorrow, but it will come into picture in the further days.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Fine. Thank you. I have cleared my doubt. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Devopam De, you can go ahead
Yeah,
with your.
hi Chinmay.
Yeah,
Chinmay,
hi.
to give you a brief understanding of our business model, we are an LMS organization who are associated with 600 plus training businesses.
Okay.
Now, these training businesses use our SMS mask to send for reset password links or sign up SMSs to their learners. So,
Okay.
catering to around 10 million learners currently, right? But the question is, do we need to whitelist all the CTA, all the 600 plus organizations who use the platform?
Okay.
And
So
yeah, yeah,
they send their own URL domains in that
yes,
SMS
yes.
content,
These are whitelisted URLs for every organization.
and hence they might be using their own sender ID as well.
No, no, sender ID is ours.
Oh, yes, you have to whitelist. So
And
you have a solution to that. That is that short URL solution that we are providing. Okay. So since they are sending their domains right in the SMS body, but header is yours and DLT platform is yours. So if you use r9m.io, then all the URLs that is there in those SMSs will be shortened to 9m.io, and you can add your headers into that, all your headers, and then those SMS delivery will not be affected.
got it. One follow-up question here. Since all these URLs might be different URLs, let's say the password reset link which I get will be different from yours if you are in the same organization or in a different organization as well, right? So will this case also be handled using
So
the short
any
URL?
URL. So what happens is our
Mhm.
short URL function. I'll just give a brief of that. So whatever URL you are passing in the SMS content, will pick that URL, convert it to a unique short URL for
Got
that
it.
particular receiver, not even for that URL. URL plus receiver. Okay, that
Mhm.
is a unique URL, and then we pass it on to the SMS to the telecom operator who delivers it to the receiver. When receiver clicks on that, it will be redirected to the original URL that we have received for that particular number.
Got it. Let me try that, and maybe I'll reach out to the key account managers after if I face any challenges.
Sure. So you can contact support and sales both.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome. Mr. Govind P, you can go ahead with your queries. Or Mr. Jamin Bhavsar, you can also go ahead with your queries. Yes, Govind.
Yeah. Hi, I'm sending an SMS.
Govind, your voice is
email
cracking.
ID, there is no.
Govind, your voice
to
is cracking.
Okay, is it audible now?
It's better now.
Yeah. Okay. See, we send SMS to our clients, and it contains just the SMS saying that this is the OTP for you, and nothing else. It doesn't contain any link, any email ID, nothing. In that case, should I be worried or should I be changing anything?
No. So if there are no CTAs in your SMS content, there is no URL, no callback numbers, no email ID, then you don't have to do anything, and
Good.
it will not affect your SMS delivery.
Thanks, sir. That clarifies, madam. Thanks.
Yeah. Mr. Jaya Kumari, Miss Jaya Kumari, you can go ahead with your query.
Yeah, I'm Jamin. Yes.
Yes,
Hello,
Jamin.
sir.
Yeah.
Jamin, you can go ahead.
Yes. On behalf of my Lisa, I just ask the question. Yeah, Lisa, go ahead.
Sir, at the last of the webinar, you told something regarding the shortlisting of static URLs in behalf of your m.9m.io. Means we have to.
Okay. So I'll just reiterate that. I'll just reiterate that. So basically, it's not about short URL. It's the URLs that are there in your static part. So what I mentioned is, if you have some URLs in your static part of your SMS template. Okay. So you might have applied multiple templates on DLT platform. Those have two parts, some static part and a variable parts in the SMS template, right? Now, the URLs that you have put in the static part of your SMS template, right? That also needs to be whitelisted. Okay. Now, let's assume your URL that is there in the static part is, let's say, unacademy.com. Okay. Now, since it is in the static part, that has to be passed on as it is. Now, if you use our short URL and you use the dashboard functionality to switch on the short URL functionality of MS91, where we will be shortening all your URLs, right? Including the unacademy.com, right? Now that will be converted to 9m.io and passed on to the telecom operator. But since it is in your static part and approved as unacademy.com, it will mismatch and your SMS will fail. So what we said, there are only few clients who put URLs in static part of the SMS template. So if you have done so, then you have to ensure that those are not getting shortened by message91, else your SMS will fail.
Means as in the URLs which are in static part should not be shortened.
No, sorry. So अगर आप message91, if you use message91 short URL functionality by switching on the button of message91 will shorten all your URLs. Okay. Doesn't matter that URL is in the static part of your SMS content or in the variable part of your SMS content, right? Now, if there is a URL in your static part, which is unacademy.com, that will by default be shortened by message91 functionality, and your SMS will fail. What we are trying to say is, if you have some SMS templates on DLT that has URLs in the static part, then you cannot use the overall functionality of short URL of message91. Then you have to pass the short URL parameter in the API based on each request.
Okay.
And further to this, you can drop a mail to support@MSG91. We will explain you further on this.
Okay, sure, sir.
Jaya, you can go ahead with your queries.
Yeah. Hey, Chinmay. So, we are a vehicle rental company. So, to our customers, we send SMS which consists the OTP. And in every SMS, there's a static URL, that is a short URL, which is basically bit.ly, and that redirects to a link from YouTube. So,
Okay.
I have applied for whitelisting, but then the bit.ly URL is bit.ly, then a slash, and then some like it's
Code, random code.
like variable field. So,
Yes.
how to whitelist this? I'm a bit
Okay.
confused about this.
Okay. So if you want to whitelist a short URL on DLT platform, that short URL should end with a sender ID. I'll explain it again. I'll share my screen again. So if you want a short URL, and this should contain header. Okay. So let's assume, let's take your example. You are saying it's bit.ly, right? And then
some
a random code, right?
Yeah.
Now this will not be allowed on DLT platform, and there is no header into this. Okay. So
Yeah.
ideally, how bit.ly can be allowed is if, let's say, your header is A B C D E F, then it can be allowed. But currently bit.ly is not providing a solution of a header, right?
Yeah.
So you cannot use bit.ly at all for the solution. So for CTA whitelisting, bit.ly is, as of now, you cannot use. What you can use is, instead of bit.ly, you can use m.9m.io.
Okay, the one solution which you were explaining right
The one
now.
solution which we are explaining. Yes.
Okay. Instead, if I want to change my like this URL, I want to change the content of the message. Can you like help me with how many days it do it take the DLT platform to like approve the content?
So DLT platform is currently approving the content in few hours. Some DLT platforms taking couple of hours, some might be taking up to 4 hours.
Okay, thank you. I got my solution.
But I think instead of approving your content, new templates and everything, you can use our dynamic URL shortening solution that dynamically shorten your URL on a real-time basis and will fulfill all the CTA whitelisting guidelines as well.
Okay, I'll explore that first.
Sure. Miss Khyati, you can go ahead with your queries.
Hello.
Yes, Khyati.
Yeah. So I have a query about like we are sending OTP messages with customer email ID and mobile number. Okay. So both are dynamic, and I think you have answered for the email ID. That is not like currently applicable from the 1st October, but I'm concerned about the mobile number. How do I whitelist that thing?
Okay. So the customer to which you are sending an OTP SMS, you are putting their mobile number in the SMS content also.
Yes.
Okay. So regret to say, but this use case will not be fulfilled from now on, because practically it's not possible for you to first whitelist that number.
Sorry, it's not actually OTP. So once the customer registered in our application from the web link, so we'll share them one message with the their email ID and password and their mobile number.
Okay. So that is practical. I don't think that is practically possible from now onwards, because any mobile number in the SMS body needs to be whitelisted, and you cannot whitelist a mobile number of every new user every now and then, since there is no API of a DLT platform. So I don't think it is practically possible. So you have to stop using the mobile number in the content.
Okay, so currently there is no way to whitelist the dynamic mobile number or variable, right?
No, currently DLT platforms don't provide any APIs.
Or so, it will be closing from tomorrow, or I mean from applicable from midnight or
midnight. So basically, ideally it's technically it's applicable from midnight, but some DLT platforms might enable it maybe after at 3 a.m., someone at 7 a.m., maybe all at 12
So
midnight. as
it's
well.
like a mobile number will be stopped from the 1st October. And
Yes,
just
mobile number is also from first October.
okay. Okay then. Okay, I'll check
Okay,
that.
Gary. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Kaushik and Mr. Kunal, you can go ahead with your queries.
Hi, Chinmay.
Yeah, hi.
My question is similar to Khyati's. So basically, we are sending, SMS in which we are saying that, hey, some customer name, your email has been updated to your email and the email address, right?
Right.
Those are dynamic email address. Whatever user, sends us request that we have to update with this
Right.
email address, we send that in the SMS. So I don't think it will be possible to, whitelist all those emails because we also are not aware what emails user put, right?
Right.
So how can we solve this use case?
Okay. So currently, first email is not getting live from tomorrow. So we have to wait till we get more information on the email whitelisting. Maybe they'll find a solution to this because this is a common problem where people are changing their email ID. Also, this is a problem for callback numbers as well, but specifically for email IDs. So we have to wait till DLT share some more details on email whitelisting.
Okay. So anyways, from tomorrow onwards, we will not be able to send those kind of SMS, right?
No, emails is not a concern. If you are sending any email ID,
Okay.
that will not be scrubbed and it will not affect your SMS content. Only with URLs and callback numbers.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Okay. Kaushik, you can go ahead with your query.
Yeah. Hi, you able to hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Hi. So we are a health tech company. So I had two quick questions. One was in the redirected URL, right, via the short URL, should that also be whitelisted under static URL?
So redirection URL, if any URL that is redirecting to any other domain, that has to go in the short URL section only.
Right. Correct. So so say for instance, I have a short URL which is A. Okay. A is a short URL and that is getting redirected to B.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and actually apply for this DLT thing under the short URL for A. But what about B? Should I apply for B ka whitelisting under static URL?
No, nothing. So any short URL which is redirecting to any URL that doesn't needs to be whitelisted, the B URL.
Okay. Got it.
So
Okay.
yes, so basically the short URL can redirect it to any non-whitelisted URL.
Yeah. Okay. Understood. And the second question is, I'm using MSG91 for sending SMSs, etc. right now.
Okay.
And but I'm not using the short URL feature from MSG91.
Okay.
We are using some other third-party service.
Okay.
So, what is the recommended practice for whitelisting on actually the DLT? So, for instance, we are using Airtel DLT.
Okay. So that particular short URL provider that you are using, is he providing a solution to put a header after the short URL?
I don't know. I have to explore that.
Okay. So if not, let's assume if not, then you cannot use that short URL provider because on DLT platform you cannot add a short URL without a header. And if that provider is not providing a URL with header, then how you will get that URL and then you will whitelist it on the DLT platform.
Oh, okay.
So if he's providing, that's great. If not, then you can anytime use m.9 m.i.
So this short URL is part of our, I mean, it's actually a, what do you call, the subdomain of our main domain thing.
Understood. But let's assume your subdomain is ABC, okay? And your short URL domain is abc.com. So when you go ahead and put abc.com on this DLT platform, then you have to use your header after that. So I'll show you practically just a second. So I hope my screen is visible to you.
Yes, Yes.
So if your short domain is, let's say, abc.com, then you have to any which ways append a header after this, right? So, and then you have to use a HTTPS in front of it. Okay. This will become your short URL domain, right? Which you will whitelist on DLT platform. So now, since this is your domain, will you be able to redirect it to your desired URL? If yes, you can definitely go ahead and whitelist this. If you cannot redirect it to any desired URL, then you cannot use it. No, you practically cannot use it.
Okay. So, so in our case, the example is, for instance, for my subdomain is going to be, for example, actually sub.abc.com. Okay. sub.abc.com. And and then abc.com is actually my main domain. So now if I go ahead and shortlist, sorry, if I go ahead and actually whitelist sub.abc.com,
right,
under the short URL,
right.
But there's no slash, and then the SMS header is not there.
No. There will be an option on Airtel DLT. I have an Airtel DLT doc as well.
Okay.
Here you will get the documents of this is Airtel DLT documentation.
Correct.
So here you have to select your when you hear. Okay, I'll show you just a second. Okay, so they've not explained it in their help document how it will be whitelisted. So basically, it will also be work like this only. This of Smart Ping, where you have to go to the CTA whitelisting section and then again use a URL. Here, this is how everyone is giving. Okay, so everyone is asking for the protocol, then a domain. So here you have to write sub.abc.com and then you have to select your header.
Okay.
This is how it will work. So once you create this, it will look like this. The slash will automatically come.
Okay, so that means the header is mandatory there.
Header is mandatory in short URL. So question mark is mandatory in dynamic URL. Header is mandatory in short URL. There is no alternative to it.
Okay. So if the header is missing, message is rejected.
Yes, it will not be whitelisted. So in whitelisting, you have to use header, and in actual SMS content, you have to pass the header along with the short URL. Else, it will be rejected. It will be apple to apple match.
Because earlier we were using only the header for the SMS template, but we were never using the header as part of the URL. So that is the change. Okay, sure, yeah. Thank you.
No worries. Mr. Manoj, you can go ahead with your queries.
Yeah, hi. So actually, as you said, dynamic URL must be registered with a question mark. So as of now, we are sending some messages with some dynamic URLs. Okay, so that does not contain any question mark. Okay, so for example, this URL is like MSG91.com, some static part, and after that, some random dynamic generated string. So how can we register?
Okay, so you have to use short URL for that.
Okay.
Means because since there is no question mark, you cannot whitelist it in the dynamic section. DLT will not allow. Okay. Now, since you cannot go into dynamic, the only option left is the short URL. Okay. So you have to use a short URL that redirects to your main URL. The same thing is happening with us as well. I'll show you that as well. Hope this is a query of many. I'll just show you. Wait. Okay, so this is basically it's our URL. So our help documents goes like this, where there is a static part up till this. Well, static means fixed part in the URL. Okay, so this is the fixed part, and the remaining part changes from this. Okay, so these keep on changing, and there are almost around 800 to 1000 articles we have, and every article have this different part. Okay. Now there is no question mark. So I cannot put it in the dynamic. So I have left with no other option, but I have to use it 9m.io and slash my header is MSG91. So I have to use this, and then along with a dynamic code that redirects it to different help documents. Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Pankaj.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Manoj.
No, actually, I'm Pankaj.
Acha. Yes, Pankaj, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, my company is a fintech company, and we used to send SMS to our customers, consisting of short links and web links. So I have been trying to whitelist my web links and short links from yesterday, sorry. But I face every time a same error, which I can let you know. Just give a minute. Like I am trying to whitelist my web URL. It's https colon / play.google.com /store/apps details ID equals to com.kksv.sally now. Whenever I enter this URL in the static URL on message TrueConnect. So once I click submit, it shows me the entered URL is invalid.
Enter URL is invalid.
Yeah.
When someone clicks on this URL, where he will land?
Actually, he will be redirected to the Google Play Store for our app to download.
Okay, so basically now for apps they've asked for .apk. Okay, so if you want to redirect any of your client
I already whitelisted the .apk link.
Okay.
So
Achha,
I
this
just
will
need to.
create one more problem as well. The problem
Okay.
is the length of this, the number of characters in this particular URL is easily crossing 30 characters, right?
Yeah.
So that will itself fail, even if it's whitelisted on TrueConnect.
Okay.
It will fail on
Yes,
your SMS
understand.
content. So the ideal way is to use a short URL.
Okay, so in case of short link, whenever I put the bit.ly short link in this, I
It
choose
doesn't have
protocol
a
to.
header.
So I choose protocol as https colon / then domain name is bit.ly sorry,
Right.
and then there is SMSs SMS.
No, then TrueConnect will ask you for the sender ID.
Sender ID. Okay, we have sender ID SNL now.
Now if you put the sender ID here, does bit.ly support this URL? bit.ly/sly now. Bit.ly is
No,
not supporting this.
actually, I created the bit.ly short link, so it gave me https colon / then bit.ly then / SNAPP SMS, and SNAPP SMS is not my header.
So it will not be allowed.
Okay.
On TrueConnect, after your short domain, you have to put your sender ID. That's a mandatory process.
Sender
you will not
ID.
be able. Sender ID.
Okay.
Most of the DLT platforms are just giving a drop downs. They are not allowing you to type anything after your short domain. Right. And the drop down consists of your approved sender IDs.
Okay, approved sender IDs.
So you currently Bitly is not providing a solution. That is, you cannot use Bitly. You have to.
So from where can I generate the short links?
Okay, so you can use message91.com and
message91.com.
Yes, you can use our services.
Your services.
Yes, we have dynamically shortened your URL to m.9m.io.
So actually, I just before a moment I was trying to open the link, but it's not showing a web URL to me, I think.
Okay. So in the chat box, in the chat, our team will share the information with you, how you can register at MSG91 and you can use our services.
No, actually, we are already registered on MSG91.
Okay.
Yeah. We have been using your services from more than 4 years.
Okay. So you don't have to manually create a short URL. It will
Okay.
automatically create it on the real-time basis. You have to either switch on the short URL button. I'll show you again. Okay. So when you log into Message91, you'll go to a dashboard. And dashboard, you have need to go to URL shortener section. Then you go to settings. In settings, you'll get the option. If you enable this option, every URL in your SMS content will be shortened to m.9m.io / the sender ID that you pass in that particular SMS / a dynamic code for the redirection.
Okay. So I don't need to short my any of our link?
No, you don't need to short any of your link. All your links will be shortened from here. If you don't want to shorten every link of every of your SMS, then you can do one more thing. I'll show you how you can do it in the API documentation. Then this is our API documentation of send SMS. Here you can pass a parameter of short URL 1 or 0. So you can use a parameter in the API, a flag in the API as well, or you can do a blanket approval on all your URLs through this functionality.
Can you show me again the same thing?
Just
I could not see.
Yeah.
Where
Here there
did you
will be a
open this
parameter.
from?
This is docs.message91.com. docs.message91.com.
Message91. Okay.
And you can contact support. The better option is to contact support. Based on your API that you are using, they will guide you with the solution.
Okay. Actually, I could not find any contact number for the customer support, so I emailed yesterday regarding the same issue.
Okay, so they will definitely revert you. They probably have reverted you. They will share it in detail.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Now, Miss Pooja, you can go ahead with your queries. Miss Ritika, you can also go ahead with your queries.
Am I audible?
Yes, Ritika.
So I just wanted to know about short URLs. So the current short URLs are using is our domain. So like you said, HTTPS, then domain, then sender ID, and then you can have a dynamic variables, right?
Yes.
So domain, for our domain, it's pxmd.com, and then our sender ID will be there.
Yes.
Right. And after that, any shortened URL variable we can use after that?
Yes, you can use. You need to ensure that it do not cross 30 characters. The complete URL.
Okay.
Okay. And you also have to pass https:// in the SMS content also.
So I just need to approve that HTTP domain and the sender ID. After that, dynamic I don't need to know.
Dynamic you don't need to approve. You just need to approve https:// your domain and your sender ID. Now, after your sender ID, you can put anything that doesn't matter. But till this, it has to be exactly the same in the SMS content as well.
Okay. And so, and one more thing, our page has so there is the main domain like matrix.f/upcoming page, and there has so many different discussions page which have different IDs ending. So for this, better to use shorten links. Now, if we want to redirect them,
the best way to use the shorten link, and even the better way is to use the dynamic shorteners. Means the shorten links or shorten providers who are converting your link into shorten URL on a real-time basis. Because
Oh.
every time you will not be able to manually shorten your every long URL, right? That's
Yeah.
practically not possible. So
Okay.
you should use a provider that is dynamically shortening your URL while sending an SMS,
Okay. Okay.
like what we
Right.
are doing basically.
Yeah, exactly. The you are doing right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome, Ritika. Pooja, you can go ahead with your queries. Miss Pooja Naik. Meanwhile, Mr. Mohammed Sharif, you can go ahead with your queries. Mr. Kunal Kumar.
Yeah, hi Chinmay.
Yes, Kunal, go ahead.
Chinmay, I wanted to ask, so in some of our SMS, we have URLs, but it doesn't include, www or HTTPS. Will it
Okay.
be considered as URL? For example, gmail.google.com.
Okay.
It's a simple text without HTTP or without www. So will it be considered as text or URL?
Okay. So currently there is a different views from different DLT platforms on this. Some DLT platforms have a smart system where they are identifying a URL that is passed in an SMS content, right? So if you are passing this, is this redirecting to anything, or it is any web link is getting open through this?
No, it's just written there. No web link is opening.
Okay. So basically, it's a different opinion from different DLT platforms on this, because some might be allowing because they are unable to identify this. Some might have a smart mechanism that can identify this as a URL, maybe because of .com or anything else, and that might affect your SMS delivery. So
So should I change
currently,
the
will not be
template
able to give you a sorry.
So should I change the template as well as register that URL in the DLT platform?
Yes, ideally you should do that. Since conclusion is of now.
Okay. Because a lot of companies are doing it. For example, I checked Flipkart's OTP SMS that I got right now. It also says @www.flipkart.com, but it's not a CTA. Like you can't click on it.
So agreed on that. So ideally, it should not be a part of that. Okay, but since DLT platforms are building a system to identify the URLs, right? So we are not sure as of now, okay, how they will identify. Maybe with .com, maybe with HTTPS, maybe with any other parameter. So if they are able to consider this as a URL, let's assume, okay.
Yeah.
So they will fail your SMS because it's not whitelisted.
Okay.
So yes.
Thanks.
Mr. Mohammed Sharif, welcome, Kunal. Mr. Mohammed, you can go ahead with your queries. Mr. Harshvardhan Joshi, you can also go ahead with your queries.
हेलो
Yes, go ahead.
हाँ जी बेसिकली जो आपका वो यूआरएल शॉर्टनिंग वाला है वो अगर हमने ऑन कर दिया तो हमको कुछ चेंज नहीं करना है ना
तो अगर आपने हमारा यूआरएल शॉर्टनिंग ऑन करा तो आपके एसएमएस कंटेंट में जितनी भी यूआरएल होगी, मे बी इन द स्टैटिक पार्ट ऑफ योर एसएमएस, मे बी इन योर वेरिएबल पार्ट, कुछ भी होगी, सब शॉर्टन हो जाएगी. बट उसके पहले आपको m.9m.io along with all your headers आपको अपने DLT प्लेटफॉर्म पे व्हाइट लिस्ट करना है. द फर्स्ट प्रोसेस इज दैट.
वो CTA वाइट लिस्टिंग वाला.
हाँ, तो आपको क्या करना है? I'll show you.
हाँ, मैं CTA में ही खोल के बैठा हूँ. आप मेरे को बता दीजिए.
CTA में आप जाओगे तो आपको
VID
this is for everyone. This is for everyone who want to use our services. आपको CTA में जाके जो हमारा शॉर्ट डोमेन मतलब
और
आपको पहले
आपका
HTTPS
स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हो रहा है। हाँ
ओके।
अभी हुआ।
हाँ, तो आपको https:// यूज करना है. Then you have to pick our domain. Our domain is m.9m.io.
चैट
Hope
में
this
डाल
is
दीजिए ना,
visible.
चैट में।
Okay, I'll do it.
कैसे मिलेगा चैट?
I guess नहीं, आप ये स्क्रीन पे देख लो. It's easily visible. This one. I'll highlight it in red. Hope this is visible. m.9m.io.
ठीक है, ये ले लेना है और फिर क्या करना है?
Okay, so everyone who you want to use our subdomain, you use HTTPS. Use
ये
HTTPS.
CTA
Put
whitelisting पे
this
जाना है ना?
CTA whitelisting, then URL, then
शॉर्ट
short
डोमेन
URL,
या नहीं, लॉन्ग URL या शॉर्ट डोमेन URL?
short domain URL.
ठीक है, HTTPS
Then
ये
m.9m.io. Then
ठीक है,
select your headers one by one and whitelist all your headers along with this.
डन हो गया। और कुछ करना है?
You only have one header?
यस, अभी एक ही हेडर है।
तो basically आपके पास जितने भी header है, other clients who has multiple headers, what you have to do is basically https m.9m.io and then your header. If you have 5 headers, whitelist all 5 headers. Okay.
ठीक है, और कुछ करना है इसके बाद?
नहीं, इसके बाद message91 you have to enable URL short.
That's it ना?
Yes.
कंफर्म है ना?
Yes, confirm.
ओके, थैंक यू।
Okay. Miss Rupali Bajaj and Mr. Sarang Shinde, you can go ahead with your queries.
Hi, Chinmay, am I audible?
Yes, Sarang, audible.
Yeah. So my first question is for the dynamic URL, we have to pass it as a variable or a normal text. Because yesterday I created few templates and the Ping Connect team said that we need to pass those dynamic URL as a variable.
Yes, because if you pass it as a normal content, how it is dynamic? How you can change it for every receiver? That is not possible.
No, because they asked to add the question mark at the end of the URL where we can
Yes.
change the
You're
parameters,
saying
right?
in a static part of an SMS content, you will put it till question mark, and then you use a variable, right?
Yes.
So technically this should work. If SmartPing is saying no to this, we can address this with SmartPing. I can discuss with them and then we can get back to you. You can just raise your query to support@msg91.com. Technically this should work.
Okay. Okay. And another question is if we go to the CTA whitelisting on the Ping Connect itself, we can see that the URLs are active. So those are automatically get approved or in the future they will
If
check
it
and
is
they will approve it.
okay. So I really cannot comment on future, but currently if it is showing active, it will definitely work. Maybe in future, if they want to check it and reject it, they will change the status to rejected. Okay. But if the status is active, it means it is approved and it will work.
Okay. And my third and last question is the MSG91 short URL service is free or it's currently free and maybe in future you will charge for that service?
Okay, that's an interesting question. So currently it is definitely free. Currently, along with free, we don't have a plan to charge it, but I'm not sure how we'll decide how much expense we need to incur on that, how much cost it will affect us. We are not sure currently. As per Saturday's data, we have processed around 1 CR URLs on one day. Okay.
Okay.
So all the SMS that has been passing through Message91, there are URLs in 1 crore SMSs. So we are not sure as of now how that will going to impact our cost price, but probably We are not going to charge it. We don't have plan as of now to charge it or not. So you can rest assured that even if we are planning for that, maybe in future, we'll definitely inform you much prior. But currently there is no plan, so you can go ahead with our solution.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Chinmay.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah. Hi, Chinmay.
Hi.
So one of my question asked by Sarang, so
Okay.
I answer. And my second thing is we are a reseller of MSG91 actually. I
Okay.
think since last 10 years, but we currently we have only 3 clients who are using the SMS services. One is the doctor who is using the SMS services, but he's using for the wishing, like Diwali is here, so he sent he sent a message to his patients, happy Diwali, like this type of thing he
Okay.
sent. So do he need any type of CTA whitelisting?
If there is any URL or callback number in his SMS content, yes.
No, I think there is no URL because they are all 3 are 2 are not using the URLs, but I have to share on the callback number. So if there is a callback number, then he must be whitelist that callback number, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fine. My second client is a school client, and might be he is using a URL for reminding the payments of fees payments.
Okay.
So do they need the whitelisting?
No, does his SMS content has any URL or callback number?
I have to check with them
Okay.
also.
So any SMS content, if do not have callback number or a URL, nothing to be done for that particular SMS content. Nothing at all.
Okay, fine. So means these whitelisting will be done by their portal only, right?
Their DLT login.
Okay, fine. Means we do not need to bother any type of thing. Means we, as a reseller, we don't need to do anything for them, right? Only
You don't need to. You have to
guidance is
give the
needed
guidance.
to them.
Yes,
Yeah.
guidance is needed. And second,
Hmm.
currently on your account, MS91 account, reseller account, there is no option of this URL shortener, automatic shortener, right? So
Okay.
if your clients need it, we will be coming up with that solution as well. So once that solution is live, you have to enable that option for your clients. You will get that option in your reseller setting once that is live. Then once you enable that, then your user will be able to see that option, and then they can enable or keep it disabled.
Okay, means right now they don't they can't use MSG91 URL shortener thing.
Right now they will not. Probably will make it live by EOD today itself.
Oh, so when could we expect this URL shortener?
We
Because
will confirm you by EOD.
okay, fine. So I'm waiting for your confirmation because might be one of our one or two of our clients need this thing.
Sure. For sure.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
Chinmay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Mr. Chavez Guzar, you can go ahead with your queries. Mr. Nilesh, you can go ahead meanwhile.
Hi, Chinmay. Am I audible?
Hi. Yes, audible.
Yeah, this is Shavel.
Yes.
I just want to confirm you. In your previous comment, you said that bitly short URL is not acceptable at DLT level. So, is it possible to use bitly URL, or we have to use?
Okay. So I'll reiterate what I mentioned before. So bit.ly, there is no restriction on DLT platform about bit.ly. Okay. It's just apart from bit.ly, you have to whitelist your header as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So if Bitly is not providing an option to you, that Bitly is not creating a short URL for you where you can whitelist bit.ly / your header on DLT platform, If Bitly is not providing you that, which currently Bitly is not, then it's practically not possible for you to use bit.ly. There is no restriction from DLT side.
Okay. Okay. So currently I'm using Bitly short URLs in my network. Okay. There have mentioned multiple levels at my end. So that's why I'm unable to change in all the types of SMS because we have
So
no more
I
time.
agree. So we have an excellent solution to you. You keep using
Yeah.
Bitly, okay? You keep
Okay.
using
Yeah.
that, but what you have to do at MSG91 and DLT is you upload 9m.io on your CTA whitelisting on DLT platform. So what happens is we will get your URL as bit.ly. We will convert that to m.9m.io along with the header and pass out to the telecom operator in the SMS content. That will be
So
processed by the DLT platform. So apart from
could
Bitly,
you
you can use ours as well.
okay, so could you show me how I have to convert this
No, so
at
you don't need to convert this. It will be automatically. You just to switch on a button on MSG91 portal, or you have to pass a flag in the API.
flag in the API? Okay, 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 okay. Okay. So in
You can
our
just
previous
switch on.
call,
I'll show you a button
yeah.
as well. I'll just share the
Okay.
screen. This is a screen visible, right?
Yes, yes.
So when you log
It's
into
visible.
Message91, you come to this dashboard where there will be options for email, SMS, voice, WhatsApp, others. You go to
Yes.
the short URL section. You go to settings, and in the settings, you will get this option. If you enable this button,
Okay.
then all the URLs that we are receiving from you in the SMS content, we are converting that URL into 9m.io slash the header that we are receiving for that SMS. So what you
Okay.
have to do is,
Only one header. Currently I have a single header. Okay.
so
So
you
I
just
have
need
to.
to whitelist. You just go to your DLT platform. I'll show you
Okay.
how again. You just go to your DLT platform. You use HTTPS, then you
Yes.
use m.9m.io and put your header. If you have one header, you just put that particular header and get it whitelisted, and then enable message91 short URL. So your bit.ly URL will be converted to m.9m.io slash header, and then it can be used.
Okay. Okay.
And
It will
now,
be automatically sent to the delivered
yes,
automatically, right?
yes, it will be. But once you are using this, I don't think there will be any use of bit.ly then. Because once you use this, you will get the analytics for each receiver, that which receiver has clicked on that link and which receiver has not. So you can directly use this as well.
Okay. 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 No issue. I will whitelist this with your domain, right? I've
Yes.
currently in last in previous session I have asked you that about the short URLs. That time I have widely said with our Bitly short URLs, it doesn't matter. But when I'm trying to whitelist URL with Bitly slash and our domain and then slash uh, for the character in Bitly URL, so it's not taking in short URL. Okay,
Because
but
you are
I'm
appending sender ID there.
yes. I mentioned the sender ID after the Bitly and Bitly slash and trying to mention header slash and for the character of the
Further
URL
characters are
that should
not required on DLT platform. You just have to
yeah.
bit.ly slash your header. Done.
Correct. Same I have updated, but I have to double show that the as a Bitly URL is a static URL. So
Nice. So
I
then
have
in the SMS content, agreed. In the SMS content, then you have to pass, sorry, then you have to pass bit.ly slash your header. Okay, whatever. Let's say your header is this, or I'll say
yes ABCD for the
right.
yeah.
So you have to pass this bit.ly and then a random code. Will you be able to pass this much in your SMS
Yes,
content?
yes,
This much.
yes.
Then it will work.
Yes, it's not. I'm trying to whitelist at a short URL session, but it not get. Then I have whitelisted this to URL base. Is there have a second option? You know.
You can do that as well.
Yes,
You
yes.
can let's
Because
assume you can,
because
but no, if it is static, then you can definitely do that in the static
yes, yes.
section.
It's static. So I have mentioned it URL session. So it will be not affected, right?
It will not affect. Means if
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is this particular URL, I show you again, and this is important for everyone, that if
Yeah.
you upload this particular URL in your static part and you pass exactly the same in your SMS content, exactly by exactly the same means this end dynamic code should also be the same. If you pass this in your SMS content, then it will not be a problem and the SMS will be processed successfully.
Yeah, before that, I have to mention our header, right?
Yes,
Indeed.
the same way. Assuming ABCDEF is your header.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, thank you, Chinmay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Mr. Faisal Qureshi, you can go ahead with your queries.
Yeah. Currently, I am using Geo True Connect for
Okay.
the and I'm trying to register short URL where I am entering the HTTPS protocol. After
Okay.
which I am entering m.9m.io in domain. But
Right.
after that, the header that I have two
Right.
headers. So I have to select one header at once, or I
One
can
time.
select
I,
only.
one header at a time, but you have to whitelist all the headers one by one.
Uh, how to? Okay. Then if I am clicking the submit button, then I'm getting a pop-up message. Domain should not start or end with a special character.
This is a bug on TrueConnect DLT platform.
Yeah.
They are working on this, and once it is resolved, then you will be able to add it.
Okay.
So you just do one thing, you just drop a mail to support at msg91.com.
Okay.
Everyone is in discussion with TrueConnect to resolve it. Once it is resolved, we'll inform you.
Okay. And one more thing. Uh, if I'm using your URL shortener, so can I redirect to any link if I want?
It will automatically be, means whatever link you pass in the SMS body,
Yeah.
that we will shorten it and pass it to the telecom operator for SMS
So
delivery, and that will again redirect on by the receiver. It is again redirect to the URL that you passed in the SMS body.
so it can be any like application link or iOS APK link.
Any link.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Mr. Devansh Sejwal, you can go ahead.
Hi, Chinmay. I have two questions. First is on the fundamental level, this change from TRAI, would it call for a re-KYC for consumers?
No.
Okay. Second is regarding the mobile numbers. So I heard in someone's question that even those need to be whitelisted.
Mobile numbers are getting passed in the SMS body.
So they won't be clickable with a CTA to call?
No, it's not about click.
Okay.
So basically CTA means it's a call of action. Action doesn't only up to the click, but if someone receives an SMS, kindly call us to understand more. Let someone receives a fraud SMS from an SBI sender ID, right? And it says, your KYC is pending, please call back. And someone put his call back on that particular number. That is also a call to action, right?
Correct.
So that is also considered under CTA.
So how do we go about that in the same way we whitelist URLs and
You have to whitelist the numbers as well.
from the same panel which you showed?
Yes, the same panel. I'll show it again. It's a simple process. You have to go to CTA whitelisting. You can select a name. Instead of URL, you select a number. Then there will be 4 type of numbers: a mobile number, landline, toll free, and 140. Based on your number, let's say it's a mobile number, you just put the number and then get it.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Faisal Qureshi, Devansh, any further queries?
That's it from my end. Thank you.
Satish, you can go ahead with the queries. Satish J. Mr. Ajay Goswami, you can also go ahead with your queries.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, right. So right now we are just sending the order confirmation SMS from MSG91, and also we send the OTP SMS. So the OTP SMS does not contain any URL or any callback numbers. So I think we do not.
No,
Right.
no requirement.
Yeah, but in the order confirmation we provide a track URL, right? Which I am already sending by using your shortened URL, right? So I think we need to register your shortened URL, right? So like
Yes,
https
you have to register m.io
/r sender ID, right?
Yes, and all your sender IDs. Everyone
All,
kindly
okay.
ensure that you whitelist all your sender IDs so that in
Okay.
future, if you change your sender ID, that your SMS delivery will not get affected.
Okay, so at the last, we also send our domain name like storethings.in. So we have to approve that also, right? We have
No.
whitelist that also.
Okay. So after sender ID, whatever you pass after sender ID means HTTPS 9m.io, sender ID, and any dynamic part.
Yeah.
So whatever dynamic part you pass on a real-time basis that do
Yeah.
not need whitelisting.
Because that is converted by you already, right? So,
No,
so
not. Yes.
So what I'm saying is, we are sending separately. Storewings.in, we are sending separately at the end, like it's powered by us. So we have to
Whatever
attach.
URL you pass, okay. So whatever
Okay.
URL you pass to us, if you are using
Okay.
our short URL m.9m.io, whatever URL you are passing to us, we will shorten it to only m.9m.io / header.
Okay.
Okay. So it doesn't matter to us whatever you are passing.
No.
You just need
It's, one, I'm sending track now URL, right? So that is what I am using with the shortened URL that you provide us, right? There
Okay.
is another URL that we send with along with that, right? So that is plainly our domain URL storewings.in. So we have to whitelist that also. That is I'm trying to understand.
Nice. So if you are using my short URL, okay, and there is 2 URLs in an SMS content, the both will be shortened to m.9m.io.
But I don't send them with your certain, right? So that is separately concatenated. So
In the same content, 2 URLs are there.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
it's like track now m.9.io, that shortened URL, and then dash storewings.in. So that is our URL, right? So that is different URL.
Okay. So since currently we don't have a mechanism to identify that which URL needs to be shortened in a particular SMS in the same SMS content.
Yeah.
So all the URLs that is there in that same SMS content will be shortened to m.9m.io.
But I send a flag for the track now URL.
No,
So
but for the in the same SMS body, na, you are passing a flag for that particular request, right? That request has an SMS body, and this SMS body has 2 URLs, right?
Yep.
Now the flag is for that SMS content. We are working on one solution. We have this query from multiple people. So what we are working is, okay, we are trying to allow an option where you can put your URLs that you don't want us to shorten. So let's say you put bit.ly. So what we'll do, if bit.ly you have whitelisted at MSG91, we will not shortlist that. We will only shortlist the other URLs. That is in the ideation mode. Currently, all the URLs that is a part of the same SMS content will be shortened to m.9m.io. But that will also not affect your delivery, right? Because that will also convert to m.9m.io / your header, which is already whitelisted. And once the receiver clicks on that, that will redirect separately on both 2 different URLs.
I have already shared the message we sent with you on the chat. Can you please see that if you can? I can be
chat. I have to check with the chat.
Like,
You can do one thing. You can just directly chat with the support team.
I've just resent it.
They will help you out directly.
If you can check the
If you can
resend
just
message.
chat. No, actually, I'm unable to see the chats.
Okay. No problem. So then I'll connect with them. Right.
So if you can just connect with the support team for this.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
No worries. Mr. Satish J.
Yes.
Yes, Satish, go ahead.
Okay. What my for the normal SMS, if there is no phone number, email, and link, there is no problem. There is
Yes.
nothing to whitelist. If suppose, what about the WATI campaign? Do you have an idea?
What about?
WATI campaign like that? What's
No, it's only for SMS.
only for SMS?
This new norms only applicable on
Applicable
SMS,
to
not on WhatsApp.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. Sundara, you can go ahead with your queries. Or Faisal Qureshi, if you have any queries.
Hello.
Yes, Faisal.
You said that I have to send a mail to the support team.
Okay.
So can I get the mail ID?
support@msg91.com.
Support@msg
msg91.com.
91.com. Okay.
I'll show you this. You can see my screen.
Yeah.
You can drop a mail to them.
Okay. And I have to address that Geo to connect issue.
Yes. So we are already in discussion with Geo. Once
Okay.
we get a confirmation, we'll confirm you.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Sushil, you can go ahead with your queries. Samin, you can go ahead.
Hello?
Sushil.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Actually, I have not renewed my DLT subscription ever, and yet my OTPs are still being delivered. Should I continue like this or
You can continue, no issues. If there is no CTA whitelisting, there is no further requirement of a new template, new header. If there is no further requirement you have, but there will be one problem. There is a process of DLT that says okay, every quarter you have to verify your SMS content and header. So how that is going, I doubt, because every quarter if you do not verify your header and template, your that can be
right now I'm sending only
blacklisted.
OTPs.
That also needs verification, because OTP also you get it into implicit. DLT platform don't know it's an OTP or normal. It's not a banking OTP, right?
Okay.
Okay. So for everyone who is still there, for every attendee who is still there is a process to verify your template and header. It's not related to CTA. So there is a process to verify your header and template every quarter. So today is the last date. So you log into your DLT platform and verify all your headers and templates that you are still using. If you want to surrender any header or template that you don't want to use further, you can do that as well. Else you can just verify all in a single go as well. So keep doing that process every quarter.
One more thing that I have just created one new header, but this Ping Connect did not allow me. It is asking for subscription, and this Geo Connect is allowing
It will.
me.
So you might be having a subscription at Geo. You can
Yes,
go
I
ahead
have.
and
No, I am not. I don't have any subscription over there.
nice. How he is allowing if you don't have an account.
I don't know.
Don't know. You are lucky enough.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me verify the this templates.
Sure.
Okay.
Samin Sundara, you can go ahead.
Yeah, my quick question. I know the DLT is all for internal within India and also for calls. Does MS91 also give provision for a company who is having a global approach, like our company has global approach? We have customers international, while our home country is India. So 80% of our customers who are our retail customers are from India. So for SMS and click to action for out calls, we need to have DLT, which we do have. But how about
Yes.
international? Do you give a provision for international messaging
Okay.
and international calling?
Yes. So Message91 provide complete solutions across the globe. May it be SMS, email, WhatsApp, voice. All communication solutions are provided across the globe. You can use it for any country. For CTA whitelisting, the norm is only for DLT based SMS that are sending on Indian numbers. Okay.
Okay.
But you can use our services for across the globe clients.
So if say we have phone to call as an action, so when if we input a phone number, destination number, when a customer receives it, plays an IVR, can we have an options one or two? One interested, two not interested, and do we get a response in the database tables?
We have solutions for voice solutions for that. And for that, you can contact sales@msg91.com, or you can contact support as well. I'll put the email ID of sales as well. So it's sales@msg91.com. You can contact either of them for your queries.
Awesome. That is what my question is.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, hi. So, while applying for whitelisting, is it applicable per template or something applicable for all the templates that I have in the
Okay,
panel?
so it is applicable for all the templates. The CTA whitelisting is not template dependent. It's a separate section. You just whitelist your template that is applicable, whitelist your CTA that is applicable to all your templates.
And I do not have to, pass any, approved number or something, just like how we are doing for template ID.
You don't have to do that. Anything, nothing like that. It just whatever URL is there in any of your SMS template, if that is not whitelisted in the CTA section, it will be rejected.
Okay, thanks.
Yes. So there are multiple raised hands. Still, there are multiple raised hands. So I am just opening probably all now. Ajay, Ashay, Jamin, Jaya. One by one, you can go ahead with your queries. Or if your queries are already resolved, you can just disable the raise hand feature.
Yes, I'm speaking Disha from behalf of Jamin sir.
Yes, go ahead.
So I have query that you told that on behalf of your URL that m.9m.io, we can redirect to our portal. So for configuring it, that we have to do something in our source code that for m.
No.
Like that.
Okay. So you
how
don't need to make any changes in your APIs. No tech changes required. You just need to whitelist m.9m.io and enable short URL functionality of MS91. No technical changes required from your site.
Okay. So for example, in m.9 m.io, I append a URL for whiskey.app. So will it be redirected to that, or I have to do
Okay.
some like link?
Okay, so whatever URL you are passing in the SMS content from your API to message91, okay, that URL need not to be whitelisted anywhere. Okay, once that URL comes to message91, our short URL will shorten that URL to m.9m.io and submit it to the telecom operator. Now the telecom operator will match it on your DLT platform with m.9m.io/your header, and if it matches exactly, it will submit the SMS to be delivered to the receiver.
Okay, so in the SMS template,
You're not audible. You're not audible. Okay, meanwhile, Kaushik or others
Yeah.
can raise your question.
Yeah, hi. Hi, I'm Kaushik. Thanks, Chinmay, for earlier answering the questions. Now regarding the APK part. So what we are right now doing, I mean, the way in which we are enabling our customers to install our mobile app is we send a particular URL, and this is pointing to the Google Play Store or the Android App Store link. So that
Okay.
comes out as just a URL, but there's no .apk or anything
Okay,
like that.
so then you have to get it whitelisted in either static or dynamic or maybe short URL section, but not in that APK section. No need for that.
In the APK. Okay, super. So that means we still have to get it.
But since it is redirecting to Play Store, you cannot put it in static or dynamic, because static and dynamic you are not allowed to put any redirection URL that is redirecting to a different domain. So the only option is the short URL.
Short URL. Okay. Understood. That is one. And just to enable my understanding of this URL shortening. So right now we have not enabled the MSG91 wala URL shortener. So so now I'm just thinking, if I have, for example, a.b.com, okay, a.b.com / for instance 12345. So this is my shortened URL.
Okay.
Now this I pass it to MSG91, and if I enable URL shortener on MSG91 side as well, then it will shorten it to m.9m.io
right
/ and then my header and / for something else, ABCDEFG.
Right.
And now when the final user clicks on that link,
It
which
will
is
again
m.9m
redirect to your domain.
b.com. Yeah,
Yes.
correct. I think, and then there is no header, etc. Right?
Nothing required there.
Nothing required, because the header decoding will be done by the MSG91 side, and then
Right.
Okay, perfect. So
Right,
that
but
means
you just need to ensure you upload m.9m.io / your headers on your DLT platform.
correct. And I have to enable URL shortening on
Yes.
MSG91 side.
Yes.
Perfect.
Only two things. No tech changes required. No cost involved. Nothing.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And just one last question: when will this recording be available?
Probably after 1 hour or so.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chinmay.
Okay. Bye bye. Yes. Mr. Manoj, Kunal, Samin, Chavez, your hands. Tarun, and someone from Retrieval D.
I'm from Vetrivel, from
Yes.
Solutions. Sir, you mentioned that before one questions were asked now, so it's clarified one of my questions. Okay. For example, you said right, the domains and like headers and all need to be verified. Okay. But I'm using Airtel DLT portal. Okay. So we have unverified and registered and section, but I'm unable to see option to verify the domain because in unverified section, right, nothing is showing. Registered section, all my headers and domain like templates and all showing. Nothing is there in for unverified section. So what I need to do? How to verify?
Okay. So your domains have already get into unverified status, right?
No. I'm talking about template and messages, right?
Those are already
Headers.
unverified by Airtel. Maybe because of non-usage.
No. So it's not showing. Nothing is showing in unverified section. Okay, everything is showing a registered section. Only I'm able to see the option like a free full or suspend. That two option only is there. There is no verify option. I'm saying because if I'm going
there is no option to verify it.
Yes.
No. When you select all the templates, there will definitely be an option to verify it. We will separately share you the help doc for that.
Okay.
Okay. You just drop a mail to support, and we'll share the necessary details for that.
Okay.
Hi, Chinmay.
Yes, Chavez.
Sorry to interrupt you again. I just want to know that is there have any algorithm at MSG91 level to check further changes?
For the
Because we
changes
have
means?
whitelisted further this type of CTA whitelisting before 1st October. So we have whitelisted our domain and the URLs, okay, at the
Right.
CTA level. But we have to cross check it before the timeline.
Okay. So currently DLT platforms, we are also waiting for the DLT platforms to provide us a solution where we can get these testings with our clients. They have given us that solution and we have tested it. That means when I have passed m.9m.io / header and / I have whitelisted this, and when I have passed any sender ID, any URL, that has been worked perfectly fine. that we have tested. Currently, there is no mechanism from DLT where we can get you tested there. Because if I assign that particular thing to you, that all your SMS will be went through that. And client-wise, there is no solution from DLT, but we have tested it. M.9,
Okay.
M.io, that we have tested successfully.
Yes, correct. I'm understand, but before the timeline, I have to re-verify that I have correctly whitelisted all the URLs and numbers and domains. So it will be no issue for tomorrow's SMS campaign.
Probably
That's
not.
why I'm asking. No issue. If not there, then no issue. I will check tomorrow's SMS deliveries report. That
Right.
if had any chances to.
Sure. And if there is any solution possible, we'll let you know.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Welcome. Others can also go ahead with their queries.
Hello.
Yes, Tarun.
Yeah. Hi, Chinmay. I want to know one thing that we are using a templates where we shorten the URL with our own domain, basically qdify.co/sl.
Okay.
Slash the dynamic part. So this is the shortened URL. So if I want to add SL in the headers, can I do this in the smart ping?
You cannot whitelist this. This don't has an header.
Actually, it is a header, but it is two words header SL.
Hey, sender ID.
It will be sender ID.
Okay, so sender ID sender ID is allowed are 3 to 6 characters on DLT platform.
Okay.
3 to 6 alphanumeric headers are allowed on DLT platforms.
Okay. So there's one more question. If I want to add your short URL, that is m.9m.io, so what should I name it? Is it our choice, or it is a something specific about the CTA name?
Which particular name? The name that you want to put it on the DLT platform?
There is a there is a short URL where it's, I want to put name CTA name protocol domain.
Any name of your choice.
Okay. Using your short URL, I can name anything that I want.
Yes, you can name it. The CTA name, right? That is visible on
It
my
is.
screen.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yes.
Any name you can use.
Okay. So there's one more question. We are using numbers in our messages, not all messages, 4 to 5 messages, but it contains the number, not as CTA, but contains it. So it will be rejected from telecoms.
If you do not whitelist those numbers on DLT platforms, it will be rejected.
So if I came with a solution that I just mask those numbers, then it will be working or not?
Okay, so mask by mask, you mean you will put some XXX, right? Okay, so currently we don't know the backend mechanism of DLT for the numbers, that how they are considering a particular content as a number. Okay.
Okay.
So probably if it is masked, it should not be rejected, because if it is masked, there is no call to action to it, right?
Yeah.
Since there is no call to action, it should not be rejected. But
Okay.
so ideally it should not, but don't know the exact
we can see it.
backend
We can see it
mechanism
tomorrow.
of DLT.
We can see it
You
tomorrow.
can see it. I would say it will not affect.
Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Well.
Sorry to disturb. Whatever currently you are showing, right? This is just like Airtel DLT or Geo DLT, similar portal, right?
Almost everyone has the same similar DLT. In the short URL, they ask the name, then they give a drop down for a protocol, and then they ask for a domain, and then they give a drop down for a header. It's almost same DLTs.
Okay. So this is also one of the DLT portal provider,
Yes.
correct?
Yes. Okay. Anyone else has any queries? I think everyone got the answers to those queries, got the solutions to their problems. Still, if you have anything pending, any concerns you have regarding CTA whitelisting, short URLs, redirections, we are always there to help you out. We are always there to find new solutions, innovate new solutions that can help improve your business communications. So until then, goodbye everyone. Thank you so much for joining the session, and we'll keep trying to improve our services, improve our innovations so that we can help you better. Thank you everyone. Bye bye from Message 91. Keep
Thank you very
messaging.
much.